If all of the kings had their queens on the throne, we would pop champagne and raise a toast to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own.
Anne McLean, Woman of Lochbroom, Part 5. The story of Anne McLean is by no means unique, and is a sad and tragic tale of the lost stories of the forgotten women of Lochbroom. It's a story that we're only now able to tell because of modern day access to the Kirk Session Minutes, where the whole story unfolds over the course of several months and years. Anne worked as a housemaid under the Reverend Alexander Ross of the Parliamentary Church in Ullapool. Anne describes how Ross had made several attempts against her virtue, and when he eventually succeeded, he left her in possession of a child. She accuses the Reverend Ross of forging a letter in the name of Murdo Mackenzie to lure her away to Aberdeen, and then also created a rumour that she was to marry said Murdo Mackenzie. Anne then accuses Mr. Ross of trying to sell her as an indentured servant in a bid to get rid of her. When all else fails, he sends her to live in Inverness, and then eventually to his sisters to deliver the child. Sarah, the child, was born on the 14th September 1820 in Croy. In the Kirk Session records, Anne several times openly admits her feelings of guilt and asks for penance, which she does not receive. We can clearly see from the records that from 1835 onwards she sought penance on several occasions, and that on each occasion her request was sent to Loch Carron Presbytery. In 1842 she again consults the session as she needs a certificate to visit her daughter, the child of Reverend Ross, who is poorly in Inverness. It appears that Sarah had been deathly ill for several weeks. Anne was told that if she persisted in telling the lie that Reverend Ross fathered her child, the session would have no other option but to send her request to another presbytery to deal with. We have no more information available as to the outcome of the situation or to Sarah's eventual fate. However, we do know that she was brought up in Croy School under the care of Reverend Barclay of Aldern, where she had been baptised in 1822. We do have the baptism certificate for Sarah Croy, and she was given the name Croy, we suspect, because she was an abandoned child. However, we do not have any other certificates on her name. It would appear that she either died, and her death is unrecorded, or that she reverted back to her mother's name, as we can assume that there was at least some contact between the mother and child, as Anne knew she was ill.